Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Kitchen 701. Today is something pretty different. Let's see if any of you can guess it. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? Anyone guess what this is? A couple bags of pig bones. Okay, so let me explain. I didn't get to participate in our sausage making this year, dang COVID, but I had a friend luckily who said, hey, we're doing some butchering and making sausage. Do you want some pig bones? And of course I said, yes, absolutely. So what I'm gonna do with that is make some bone broth. It's a great way to use up all your stuff, all your scraps, quote unquote, from butchering, from deer hunting, making sausage, all that stuff, because bone broth is amazing for health. There's so many things that are great about it. You basically can call it better than Botox bone broth because it's filled with collagen, which is great for your skin. It's great for your bones, great for your joints. It's filled with all kinds of vitamins and nutrients that really help with overall health. Helps with your digestion, like I said, with your bones. It helps with your skin to make it nice and plump and beautiful without having to do Botox. I'm not talking about plump in the bad way. I'm talking about nice and full. And not just your face, your skin in general. And it also helps with weight loss, or it can. Usually once, at least, sometimes twice a week, my lunch consists of just bone broth. And it's a great way to get in a bunch of nutrients and then not fill yourself full of junk. And you can feel really full afterwards. So I'm gonna make my own bone broth. It's actually way easier than you would think, thanks to the mighty Instant Pot. Now, I've got several pounds, I would say probably 6 to 8 pounds of these pig bones. You definitely wouldn't need that many. You could do just a couple of pounds, but this is gonna make several batches worth. And that honestly could be a week's worth of work, because in a crock pot, if you'd have to cook these bones down, we're talking 12 hours to cook down a couple bones. In the Instant Pot, it's 2 hours. So I could honestly do all of these batches that I plan on doing in a day, less than a day. We're talking a half day. It's Sunday, we're watching football. I can do this while watching football because most of the work is not done by me. It's done by the Instant Pot. All I do is get it up to pressure, and I'll show you how to do that, and it cooks. So now you could do this a couple different ways. You could just use these raw pig bones, or you could actually take these pig bones and roast them in the oven. That roast flavor obviously is gonna make the bone broth taste a little different. I'm going to just do the raw bones in the Instant Pot. So let's get this baby started. Alrighty, so thanks again to my friends Logan and Matt. Special shout out for getting me these bones. A couple years ago, I did lard from the pig, which I'll talk about in a different episode because that's a whole different topic that I could talk about forever, the benefits of that. But, so, see, we're just taking these bones. They have some meat on them that, you know, they just couldn't get off, and that's completely fine. What we want is all this good stuff in here, all the marrow. So I'm simply putting these bones in the Instant Pot, and I'll show you this when I've got them all done in here. Now there's all kinds of bone broth that you can make. You can make them from chicken bones, from venison, from beef bones. We are just so happen to be doing this with pig bones, which is awesome. Now, I've had the question from a couple people, what's the difference between bone broth and just regular chicken broth or vegetable broth? The bone broth is healthier. It really is, because we're getting all of that health and those nutrients from the bones. When you're doing just a regular broth, you're just taking a lot of the vegetables and like a rotisserie chicken and taking some of that meat and putting it in here. You're not getting all the nutrients from a really heavy bone broth. Okay, so see, we've got this filled pretty full with these bones. Then the next step is we're going to add a few vegetables in here. You would not have to. A lot of people do not add any vegetables to bone broth. You can do whatever you would like. I've got some celery that it's really on its last leg. So we're going to use it up in a really good way by adding it to this, because why not use it instead of throwing it away? You guys know by now that's my motto. Use whatever you got. Use it to the best of your abilities. So, Adeline agrees, right? All right, so we're gonna keep half of this celery so that I've got half for the next batch, but just a rough chop. Put that in there. I've got some lettuce that was never great from the beginning. It was kind of wilty. But again, it's great in here because it'll add just a little bit of nutrients. So I'm gonna take about half of this lettuce. You can see this is how it was when we got it. So it just wasn't great. I haven't gotten around to throwing it away, but that's perfect because it has use here. So we're going to cut up some of that, put that in there. Maybe don't have room for quite all of it, that's okay. And then we're going to take a red onion and we're going to simply cut it down the middle. We'll get rid of a few of these extras, but we're gonna cut it again and we're gonna leave the skin on. It's going to just go in there like that. All right, so now you can see that's what we've got. Basically just looks like a bunch of junk in our pot, right? Oh, it's so good. Okay, then we're going to put some peppercorns in here. Not a whole lot. We're going to put a little bit of turmeric in here because if you watched any of my videos, you know that we sneak turmeric in anything when we can. But that's really it for spices. This isn't about adding spice to this because the flavor that we're gonna get out of these bones and all the nutrition from it is what it's all about. And then, oh my gosh, I can't open this. What am I gonna do? There we go, okay. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Now, this is good just for the health benefits alone. You can do a lot of research on the importance of apple cider vinegar in a healthy diet. But so we're doing it for that, which is great. But adding just a little bit of that apple cider vinegar is gonna help break down those bones, which is what we really want because we wanna get every last drop of goodness in there. Now, we need to fill this bad boy with some water. So we will add, I'm thinking like 6 cups. We don't wanna add it above the max fill line. So when you have your Instant Pot, there's a little line in there, it says max fill. We wanna add it just a little bit below that. That was 4 cups, we need some more. Okay, so we filled it just a little bit below that max fill line. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more. Okay, just 1 more cupful, a little less than a cupful. Okay, here we go. This is going in. My work literally is done. Now it's time for the Instant Pot to do its work. So let me move this stuff over here. My light came off. There we go. Okay, light back on. All right, so we've got my Instant Pot. You don't have one of these. You need one. My light came off again. Am I dark? Yeah, I'm way too dark. There we go. Back to normal. Got my Instant Pot. We need to make sure it's on the seal function. This is gonna take about a half hour to fully seal. Then the pressure stays on. What's with this light? We might have to just be in darkness. Yep, we're gonna have to be in darkness, okay? It's fine, we'll roll with it. Now, we've got the seal function going. It's gonna take about a half hour to reach pressure, and this is going to go for 2 hours. You don't do anything, you just let it work. When it comes out, that's when I'll see you back, okay? So, we're gonna just let that do its fine job, and then I will see you back here later. All right, so typical me, I forgot to put some stuff in my awesome bone broth, which is some carrots. I opened the fridge to make some lunch and realized I forgot all these beautiful carrots. My Instant Pot was building pressure, so we're gonna have to start over with that, but putting these carrots in here is gonna be beneficial. So we're gonna do it. All right, there we go. Got the carrots in. We're just gonna have to start over, build the pressure back up. I'm okay with it. All right, we're back. The best part of the whole thing here is on. All right, so we did our 2 hours of pressure cooking, did a little bit of natural release. I hate doing that because I just want it to be done and want to look at the result. So enough of that. We're not gonna do any more natural release. Now we're going to vent it and we will see our finished product here. Must have done some good progress. Natural releasing, spraying everywhere. That'll be a fun mess to clean up later. Anyone want to clean this up? So I did some research on the benefits of natural releasing versus just doing this quick release. And one of the big things that I found interesting was if you have a lot of allergies, that you want to do the natural release, because apparently, especially with something with this, with a lot of ingredients in it, it sends out all those histamines and all of those things into the air, obviously, really quickly. So if you have a lot of allergies, you're gonna want to avoid doing that, which I thought was really interesting. Okay, quite the mess. That's pretty great. Our float came down though, so we're good to open this without having a major catastrophe. Oh my Lanta. Look at that. Look at that. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. So this is the part that takes a little bit of work here, but since we barely did any work before, I can't even really complain. But we basically just have to get all of this stuff out of here so that it's easier to drain everything. Okay, so here are those bones. All the meat is off. You can see that. There's really nothing left to these bones. We've gotten everything into this liquid, which is great to see. It smells so good. It smells like a stew, which is a really good sign. Man, if these were ribs, they'd be pretty delicious. They're like fall off the bone. Okay, so if you're like the faint of heart here with your stomach, maybe you don't want to watch this. I don't know. It's not that it's that gross though. Okay, look at that. These bones are just clear off. All the good stuff is taken off and it's in our liquid. All right, so I'm just gonna keep plugging away, getting all of this stuff out of here. Okay, so we've got all of the bigger chunks, I guess, out of here. So we're gonna move that aside. Now here comes the part where You might want some help from someone. Adeline just woke up from a nap, and I think she's really wanting a snack, as you can probably hear. Okay, so here's the part that can be a little tricky, but I think I've got it under control here. I've got a cheesecloth over this bowl. This cheesecloth, of course, is to help catch all of the stuff I don't want in my bone broth. I want it to be pretty liquidy, no chunks of stuff. And now, see how well I can do this? You're catching it here first. We're just gonna pour this in here. It's working out so well so far. Trying to be very careful. Nice. Okay. So let's lift this cheesecloth off. You can see it's a good thing I did that, right? Because you can see all these chunks that when you're either drinking this bone broth or adding it to a soup, you don't want these chunks. Especially if you recall, I put in like whole peppercorns. We've got some whatever little pieces of stuff we don't want in there. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the sink. Ooh, that's hot. And now we just ladle this into our jars. That's just the time-consuming part. So let me show you how I'm gonna do it. Then I'm just gonna get to it. It's handy to use a funnel. If you don't have one, you don't need one. But just a matter of ladling this in. So I wanted to show you the color here so that you can see. Look at that. It's just like a chicken stock or a vegetable stock, lighter in color, not like a beef stock or beef broth. Doesn't that look amazing? So all right, check this out. Got it all ladled in here. Look at this beautiful stuff. This is the Better Than Botox bone broth. Amazing. You have to do this for yourself. You're gonna love it. Your body's gonna love it. Your skin, your joints, your bones, your digestive system. You're gonna love it. Now, when you freeze this, which is what I'm gonna do, and then thaw it, you will have a layer of fat on the top. Just take that off. The rest of it is just absolute gold. You will love it. Use it in recipes. Drink it for lunch. Drink it for dinner. You will love yourself and your body will love you for it. I am on to my next batch. Thank you for watching. See you soon and Merry Christmas.